How you doing, guys? Big Mac Ghazghkull here again today, back once again with another YouTube stream for you. I'm juggling my time between YouTube and Twitch still at the moment. I'm having fun on both, and I didn't actually share it anywhere on Facebook, the places I'd normally share when I'm streaming. But I did my first multi-stream with Let's Make It Orky, who's in the chat today on here. I did a multi-stream with her on Friday, and it was very overwhelming for a simpleton like me, but I feel like it went okay. It was just like there was so much going on because you've got to watch two lots of chat to try and work out who's talking to you and stuff like that. Because a multi-stream, you can't do it on YouTube as far as I'm aware, but it's basically two people streaming at the same time on their own individual channels, and you feed your audio through to the other channel. But yeah, anyway, so it's like it's a dual stream, and you get a link, and someone can watch on their browser both streams at the same time, basically. And it's all very exciting and new to me. I'm hoping it's something I'll improve at in the future. But yes, today this stream is just me, and you lovely lot in the chat. We have Rivets and Daka bright and early as always. We have Let's Make It Orky in the chat. She'll just be lurking. But yes, good afternoon as well to Essex boys. Welcome back to the channel. And I might as well go desk down and start. That's weird. I might as well go. It says I've been streaming for 9 minutes of an hour and 2 minutes, but I don't know why it thinks I'm just streaming for an hour and 2 minutes. Anyway, yeah, I might as well go desk down and start cracking on with Ghazghkull now. With regards to my Hobby 365 challenge, I have now painted. Let me check. If you're interested to find out, I have now painted 24 plus 31, 55 miniatures so far this year, and we're on day 50, I think. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're on day 52. Yeah, so I've painted 55 miniatures so far this year. We're on day 52. So I'm slightly ahead for my Hobby 365 challenge. I thought, it's about time I tackled a slightly bigger miniature. The flash kits were a bit of fun to paint, and a little bit of a change of pace from some of the stuff I've been doing, like zombies and batches of stuff. So I did another batch of Necrons in this case. The first Necrons I've painted since 1997, 98, something like that. And yeah, they kind of took it out of me at the start. If you do go back and watch, you can watch streams after they've been on Twitch. If you go back to my channel and watch my stream, just skip like the first 10 minutes when I'm trying to get it all set up and stuff. But if you go to Let's Make It Orky's channel and watch from her side, you can actually see me on screen as well. But if you did go back and watch that, you'll see at various stages throughout that I was really struggling with these Necrons. I'm not a fan of painting metallic paints. So some of the stuff I'm going to be painting today might be metallics, but at least the flat surfaces, relatively flat surfaces in comparison to the Necrons, which are basically metal skeletons. So getting metallic paint onto skeleton for me isn't a fun thing to do. But anyway, let's crack on with today's stream. You'll notice as well I've got a snazzy shirt on today. It's a new snazzy shirt. I say new, it's new to YouTube. It's already been on Twitch in that multi-stream I did on Friday. So let's crack on with the desk down. Oh yeah, desk down. I've forgotten how to do everything, So you can see, guys, where he's up to. The armour I painted with Black Templar over Lead Belcher. But I'm going to have to go back in with another coat, I think. And then I'll see what it's like. And if I don't like it, I may well go over it with one final black coat of Abaddon Black. Just to seal that deal, so to speak. I'm just going to grab my water. It's out of reach up on the top of the fridge at the minute. Yes, so so I think what's everyone up to today? I'm pretty sure one of you is D&Ding. But is anybody tabletop hobbying? Not so much hobby of the mind, but hobby of the tabletop. Is anyone painting miniatures, building miniatures, anything like that? I was tempted to try and do a conversion on today's stream, but I thought no. What I'll do instead is crack on with my Ghazghkull, see if I can get him finished. Because the flesh the head is something I finished a little while ago, and I'd like to be able to put that head within the armour and finally, you know, put this miniature up on my shelf in the pride of place, in the place it deserves. Put it up on a pedestal, you know, just floating up there. Anyway, let's crack on with the stream, shall we? It's good to have you here as always. Anyway, guys, I think I've forgotten how to stream altogether, you know, and how to talk to the chat and whatnot. It's very strange. I was playing around with Nightbot before, and I was just seeing what commands you could add and stuff like that. So if one of you could type for me !lurk into the chat, I want to see if the command actually works on YouTube or if it misses something out, because Gaz just finished assembling new hobby chair. Bit more padding, nice one. Mine's got you know, not enough padding. It's a bit worn out now. So I think what am I doing here? Right, I want Black Templar, don't I? I'll tell you what, I might try and type !lurk in the chat and see if that happens. See if that does anything. All one word. L. Oh no. L-U-R-K. That has to be all one word, Gar. I'll try it myself now. No, it doesn't work. It was a good effort. Unless the host of the stream can't actually... Oh no, here we go. Yep, so it works. So I better unlurk myself as well. So if you are just lurking and you're not going to be involved in the chat too much of the stream, feel free to just put !lurk in the chat. And then you'll skulk off into the shadows and wait for the opportune moment to strike. And then when you want to come out of your lurk, if you put !unlurk, I think there's a chance, because you just put !lurk so soon after I put !lurk, I think there's a chance that I've left a timer on it and it won't do more than one in a certain amount of time. But if you do !unlurk, then it'll say what happens when you're coming back. Yeah, Clint's been working on his Blood Bowl dugouts. I read that as donuts the first time and I was quite confused. I was like, what Blood Bowl donuts? Has someone landed on one of the spiky balls or something and they need a donut to sit on? But yeah, so no, a dugout, one of your dugouts. Nice one. Going to be interesting to see them. That's for sure. Have I seen them at all? I did see you posted some more pics somewhere. I think it was probably in the 40k community. But I can't remember what the pics were of. I remember it was like Blood Bowl related, but I can't remember what specifically. I'm finding it difficult to unlurk. With a war on their lips, Rivets and Daka returns like the cunning but brutal git they are. Right, here we go. So, oh my word! I nearly just dipped my model in the contrast paint. How you doing, Bazza? Welcome to the stream, mate. Your deaf skulls were looking nice when I saw them the other day. Very nice. I know you put your painting down sometimes and say it's you know, it's nothing special, but yeah, you've done a fantastic job on that. Are you working on anything today, Bazza? West Six Boys is attempting to lurk. Gar's back. The lurk commands, the commands don't work anywhere near as well on Thingy by the looks of it, unless I've left it as moderator instead of Thingy. Let me check. Maybe I've got it set to moderators only. Oh no, but you're a moderator anyway, aren't you? Yeah. Interesting. So it seems like the commands don't work very well on YouTube. I seem to remember Pickle saying that before. Marcos Castellanos, wow, welcome to the stream, my friend. I hope you're doing well over there at the minute. I know it's rough weather over there. So I hope you're doing well, mate. Good morning. Good morning yourself. Are you doing any hobby or are you battening down the hatches? I chose the biggest brush I could find to do this just to see if I could get it done really quick, but I'm having to fiddle with it a lot. Baz is going to build some more Luminet tonight, but still need to paint some grots. Nice. Yeah, get them grots painted, mate. Shouldn't take too long, should it? They're only tiny. Depends how detailed you want to go with them, though, I guess. Gar's been building a drum kit for his Orc rock band. No progress this week, though. Work's been crazy, yeah. I'm finding it tricky to get that work-life balance right at the minute, because I get home in the evening and I've only got like 4 hours to do stuff, including eating and bathing. So it's like I just have to squeeze the hobby in where I can, because I like to take if I can, a relaxed approach to my bathing. When I say a relaxed approach to my bathing, I don't mean like I don't bathe unless I stink. What I mean is, I don't like to rush a bath if I can help it. So what I tend to do is start running the bath as soon as I get in, get my tea on, eat my tea, then jump in the bath after my tea. Very detailed. The grots are going to be very detailed. Nice. Doing better now. I'm about to go grocery shopping. I hope you get everything you need, dude. I know. Was water out in your area at all, or I know it was out in Houston. No. I can't remember. I saw it on the news, but I've completely forgotten now. The weather is no longer freezing, no precipitation, and our electricity is back on fantastic. I know certain places had it off for, like, coming on for, a good number of days, didn't they? Also waiting on Artel to send me their Orc range to paint up for them. Fantastic, mate. I ordered some of the Orcs from Artel. They're just down to the left of me there. And it took... I ordered them in October when they had a deal on for October. And they arrived eventually at the end of January. So it was a long wait, but hopefully you'll get them a little bit quicker than me if they're waiting for you to paint them. Mostly Zen, welcome, mate. Just walking the Chaos Doggo, so we'll lurk for a bit. No worries. Water is an issue in the area, not at my house. Pipes burst at my job. Oh, bad times, mate. Hopefully it won't affect your work or anything, though. As in, like, your ability to work and whatnot. Power was out and my house was... power was out in my house for 2 days. Others had it worse, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? There's always, or often... I did dip it in the bleeding pot earlier. Little trick that Orky taught me. Just get a bit of paint where you don't want it. Just put it in your mouth and lick it off. I don't know why I'm painting that bit. It's going to be covered up by the big metal gob, isn't it? I know Freak and Mythos didn't stream on Friday night because of the weather situation and stuff. I think in part, at least, because of the weather situation. They were doing a hobby hangout though, so I think they had power and everything, or at least one of them was doing a hobby hangout. I couldn't make it to that one myself. I eventually, one day, will make it to one of their hobby hangouts. One of their Patreon hobby hangouts. Because there's such like positive, they've got such a positive attitude towards the hobby that I feel like chatting away to them while I'm getting some hobby done. I feel like I get a ton of hobby done whilst chatting away to them. Can you do a Texan accent, Ghazghkull? You know what? I was watching I was watching Ted Cruz on the news. I've rhymed, haven't I? I was watching Ted Cruz on the news the other night, and I was thinking, yeah, I can do that accent really easily, but I can't even remember what he sounded like now. I will do a Texan accent for you one day, though. Because I know Marcos is dying to hear it as well. I'm still working on those 3 mega knobs. Nice one, mate. It's they're going to look fantastic, I think, when you're done with them. The conversion from the old Ghazghkull looks great. I love that. It's too wet, that brush now. They're on my next. They're on my next order, Marcos. Are you talking about the specific? Trissart, welcome. That's a name I'm not too familiar with. Have I seen you before in the chat, or are you brand new to the channel? Welcome either way. And are you doing some hobby, as I'm doing a bit of hobby? Or are you just tuning in to see what's going on? No, I don't want that one. I want a wash style brush. One with a big belly. I got my gas ages ago, right before GW went into lockdown. Lucky devil, you lucky devil. Would you be in the States by any chance? Because I know people in the States were getting gas because it had been shipped to the States already prior to lockdown. So people in the States were getting gas, but people in the UK weren't getting it because GW shut down before they sent all the shipments out. Ah, you saw my thing on Facebook. Nice one. It's good to see that posting it in various groups and stuff does help draw people in that haven't viewed before. And am I pronouncing Trissart alright? Could be Trisart. Zen's not got gas yet. Too much other stuff to paint. I'm sure he'll keep selling. I'm sure they'll keep selling him for a while. Yeah. Well, we waited long enough for a new gas model, didn't we? And the old one was looking tiny and a little bit derpy and whatnot. But you know, you never know with Games Workshop. That's the part of the problem. You never know with them. They might just produce a new Ghazghkull tomorrow. I very much doubt it though. So I think you're safe, like you say. Ah, you're in Australia. Cool. Yeah. So I think they sent out a lot of the overseas shipments prior to lockdown happening. Dreadwar Gaming, welcome to the chat and the channel. Yeah, so they sent out a lot of the overseas shipments prior to the original lockdown near the start of last year or just after the start of last year. So while people in the UK were sat like jealously looking on the internet of people unboxing Ghazghkull and stuff all over the world, they were, you know, they couldn't get their own because GW shut down before they started shipping out the UK ones. I think GW are very, when they did that, they showed what a sort of socially responsible company they are, I think. Oh, it seems that way anyway to me, looking from the outside in. Definitely seems like that. Conscious of protecting the workforce and whatnot, shall we say. Oh, what's that on my phone? Love the pic you posted in the group. Cheers, mate. That's something I'm looking at integrating into my Twitch and my my Twitch and my possibly into my YouTube chat as well. But it's early stages yet. I'm looking at snazzing up the channel a little bit with a few little snazzy bits here and there, basically. Mute that, that's what I want to do. Or stick it on Do Not Disturb. Right. So, let's see if we can get a third coat of this Black Templar down, and then see where to go from there. What next? What about the next colour? I'm just on coffee and lemonade today. Nice. Did you work out? Was there a mystery firework near you, Dread? That you were having? It was just randomly dropped over the wall, so wasn't as close as I thought it was. I don't know about this mystery firework. Probably relating to the landlord and his upsetting all the neighbours with his illegal build projects and mad hippie farm on the doorstep. I'm surprised Gaz isn't ending up as a lucky blue git. Yeah. It's one of those things you might expect from myself. But I do, when there's a character model and stuff, most of the time I like to paint them as the character. Not all the time. I'm trying to think if I've painted any other character. So I like to paint them in the appropriate colour scheme, basically. Or at least as close as I feel stays true to their character. I was tempted to do his claw. I need to redo this, but I was tempted to do his claw in blue instead of red. But I thought I'd keep it in red. But I need to readdress this claw anyway because I'm not happy with how it looks. Basically, it just looks too dirty. So I'll bring another red in to intensify the red, or maybe I might try just edge highlighting the red squares on one side or the other, just to try and make them pop a little bit more. I was just looking around my desk then and thinking, where's my paint gone? I thought I'd spilt it, but thankfully no, I've not. I thought I must have knocked it over. Finally, I've spilt a GW paint. Oh, let me show you a GW paint I went to use earlier today as well when I was painting some Necrons. I'll show you that in a second. I don't think you're really going to see back there, but I just want to darken it up a bit. Oh yeah, I was doing that leg, wasn't I? Keep jumping from one place to the other on this. I've been having a hell of a year. Broke up with the missus, fell out with the landlord, and time to move on. Fair enough, mate. Hopefully it'll be good for you in the long run. Sometimes it turns out it can be, I think, doesn't it? Anyway, how's a mini per day challenge going? Well, if you turned up on time, Dread, you'd know that. No, turn up for whatever time you're on, it's fine. But yeah, it was, I did say earlier, and I've completely forgotten now. I think I said I've painted 55 miniatures so far this year, and we're like 50 days into the year, I think. No, we can't be. 52 days into the year, and I painted 55 miniatures. Something like that. I don't know. So I thought it was about time I tackled Ghazghkull again. Because he's been sat there, or lay on his back, on my cutting mat, just in a random part of my room, unpainted, unfinished build-wise too. So yeah, there we go. I did mine yellow, and my head canon was that he got crumped again by Primaris Ragnar, and No-Gits would fix his armour for free. So my Bad Moon sponsored him to get fixed up again. That's a good idea, that, mate. Yeah, I like that. I could have painted it blue and said someone nicked the armour for him and sponsored him. Someone looted the armour for him and sponsored him, but yeah. It is nice to come up with a lore reason why your characters aren't painted the way the lore suggests it should be. Oh, and if you want a collab, should try and do it in the next month or two, because after that I've been moving and won't have a dread desk set up for a few months at least. Right. I don't know what we'll be doing, but yeah, I'll hopefully sort something out then. I'll hopefully sort something out, because I do want a collab at some point, but I don't know what on. $55 in 52 days, I think he said. I did. Yeah, I did. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. I'm pretty pleased with myself, because I think that's probably the highest number of miniatures I've painted in a year now. So, I'm already winning, even if I stop painting right now. I mean, if I stop painting right now, Gaz would never be finished. But, yeah, I've painted more miniatures this year so far than any other year in the hobby prior to this year. So I'm pretty pleased, I've got to say. I was saying to Orky the other night when we did a multi-stream on Twitch, I think a large part of it is down to her, because she has such she streams 3 times a week, and everyone in the chats sort of, or a lot of people in the chat are regulars, so they're all having a laugh with each other in the chat and stuff like that, and having a laugh with her, and she's reading out the comments and stuff, and it's such like a positive fun space to be, that you do a bit of hobby, you type a bit in the chat, you do a bit of hobby, you type a bit in the chat, so it kind of breaks up your time, sort of distracts your mind a little bit in a way that if you were just sat doing hobby hardcore, it'd be I feel like I'd at least get a bit drained. So I think Orky's streams really do help myself get a good amount of hobby done. I've always been that way with live streams though. It's just I can't always catch every live stream. I do enjoy a live stream, just having someone talking in the background, and if they're hobbying as well, it's even better. That's one of the reasons I've tried to do live streams for a while now on YouTube, and then eventually I set up my own Twitch channel and started doing them over there as well, because it's the kind of content that I like. Just sit paint hobby while they're hobbying. I hate this song. Why does this song always come on? I swear this playlist is longer than this. It's longer than like 3 songs, but this song always comes on. Trissot's got to go for a few hours. We'll hopefully join in the next stream. See you all next time. No worries. No worries at all. Just crack on with your day, with whatever you've got to get on with. And I hope you get it all done. I know everyone can't tune in all the time. It's, like I was saying, I can't catch everybody's stream, so I appreciate you popping in for the amount of time you can do. You're glad I'm painting orcs again? 365 orcs in a year is a big goal. It is a big goal, Marcos. That's not my goal. How many times do I have to tell you? If you make me tell you one more time that I'm not painting 365 orc minis in a year, I'm gonna crump you. And back to Hume. I'm on 13 whips for the year so far. Nice one. 13 whips. Is that what you and the missus get up to in the bedroom? I'm interested as well. That means you have 3 days to finish Ghazghkull. Yeah, exactly. I've got 3 days to finish him to stay on target. Stay on target. I need to get Nick's video clip for staying on target, so every time I say it, I can just play it. So I've got three days to stay on target, or if I fall behind, I'll have to paint a batch to catch up. Try to think if I've got any. I've got a set of knobs. Got a set of knobs, but I'd have to build and paint them. Or I could look at some of the old Assault and Black Reach minis to spray and repaint. I've been really enjoying the energy you've been bringing lately, Dan. Every one of your videos lately has made me smile. Nice one. I'm glad to hear that, mate. Because I think it's okay to say. What was it? Oh yeah, I think the hobby and positive hobby content can really help people. People that are feeling a bit down. Like, you know, it might not be life changing, but it just lifts your spirits a little bit. And on that note, I'm going to be taking part in another multi-stream with Orky in a couple of weeks on Twitch on the 6th of March, I do believe, which is a Saturday. Now she's going to be streaming for 12 hours straight from 12 a.m. from 12 p.m. till 12 a.m. on that day, so midday till midnight. I'm going to be streaming with her for 3 hours. 3 of those hours. It's not 100% confirmed which 3 hours yet, but it's looking like the big boy primetime slot at the minute. But we'll have to wait and see. I think that's all right to say, because I think we discussed it on Saturday as well on the stream, so I think she's started revealing guests and stuff already. But I'm not 100% sure, so if it's not alright to say, forgive me. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's alright to say. So I'm going to be taking part in a charity stream, which will be to raise money for Mind. And on that note as well, if you do pop onto Twitch, check out the Hobby Room. They're doing a 24-hour charity stream until 7 tonight, I think. And they've raised like 10 grand, nearly 10 grand already. They're probably over the 10 grand mark now. No, they were nearly at 8 grand actually, I think, when I left them, and that was about 10 minutes before I started this video. So they're probably around just over the 8 grand mark now. But yeah, charities like mine and stuff that you can just phone up and just tell them you're feeling down and stuff, and then they try and find a way to help you. Charities like that are vital when you're not feeling down. Some people though, I think content like this. Content like this is important. Like, I'm not trying to big myself up or anything like that, but just positive content, hobby content. It could be for different people. It's obviously going to be slightly different types of content. So for people that are into Warhammer, it's painting and building content essentially, isn't it? It can help lift your mood and lift your spirits. Now, if you're really depressed, if you're having trouble mentally or anything like that, then you're probably going to need something more substantial to help you, and that's where a charity like mine can come in. So yeah, if you've got the time and the inclination, pop on over to my Twitch channel or Orky's Twitch channel. Let's make it Orky. Pop on over to that on the 6th of March, and then you can join us for a 12-hour stream. Not me for 12 hours, but me for at least 3 of those 12 hours. Yeah, so fingers crossed some of you will be able to pop along. Right, I've fallen behind on the chat now. Oh, the effort with the planning and editing is totally paying off. Thank you very much. So yeah, the videos, I'm limiting myself to 1 video, and I'm trying to get them done in a weekend. Now, I've not started doing a video for Wednesday yet. So I don't know what it's going to be, but there'll be a video up on Wednesday, hopefully. If not, I might just put it back until I've got it shot and edited. But I am going to do a video dedicated to promoting that live stream with Orky coming up. So keep your eyes out for that as well. But then, so that'll be a serious video, probably. Maybe there might be a bit of fun in there as well. We'll see. It's just figuring out how to get it in there. But yeah, I do like putting a bit of fun into my videos now and again. So let's crack on with the painting again, and I'll just try and whiz through the chat before I crack on with the painting. Zen saying Orky streams are fun. Zen is a regular now in Orky streams. It's great to see. I don't know why I did that voice. I'm in the middle of making a better setup. What's really interfered with my plans though, my room is upside down. You need to get yourself some magnetic boots or something and some metal on your ceiling, and then you can work upside down and it'll be fine. So you'll be right way up basically. Just you'll have a lot of blood rushing to your head. Can we get a permanent prefix change on Dan? Make him full-time orc. I think that voice was easier to follow than the Northern jingle. The missus does have a whip, as it happens. God bless her hobnail boots. God bless her hobnail boots. Those hobnail boots are thigh-high leather, by the way. So right. I think I've only got 2 whips for the year, but I've still got loads of whips from last year, previous year, and Garsnik to do. Gargant to do. I was trying to work out what the word was. It just an A is swapped out for the S, which is obviously next to it on the keyboard. So I was trying to work out what the word was. Yeah, the Gargant's awesome. Man. This Ghazghkull miniature is a work in progress rather, from last year for me, and I'm including it in my 365 challenge because it's about completing 365 miniatures, not about painting from start to finish 365 miniatures. Yeah, so it's about actually completing projects, which was something, if you watched my... I'll shut up about her in a second, but if you watched my collaboration over Christmas with Let's Make It Orky, she called me out for not completing projects, basically, so I wanted to challenge myself this year to try and complete as many as possible. As many miniatures as possible. And as many projects as possible, I suppose, as well. We were bikers when we met. Oh, you were bikers when you met? Nice. So, definitely got some thigh-high leathers then, haven't you? You've probably got your own as well. I've just got a really weird mental image in my head. But I'm not going to go into that. When is a 12-hour stream? 2 weeks' time. Yes, 2 weeks' time. Last night. So go back to yesterday, ask me this question yesterday, and it's 2 weeks time from then. Yeah, so it's it's 2 weeks time basically. It's not this weekend coming, it's the one following, which is the 6th of March. You got the look for a biker, to be fair. I hope you had round steam goggle punks. Had about 17 years altogether in my time. Too many other interests now. I was into fast Kawasaki's. No worries, mate. Just nip out and in as and when you can. I am not offended when people leave my streams. Because they're a bit rambly, aren't they? It should never be a priority to watch one of my streams. That's one thing I'll say. Unless they're doing you a lot of good. You mean 30? Yeah, 13 days essentially. So go back to yesterday. It's 2 weeks from then. 13 days, that's right. What's 13 anyway? Most orcs can't count above 4, can they? Or is it 5? I think it's just lots after 4, isn't it? Right. Try to make sure I get this Black Templar on most of the areas that I want it. Well, all of the areas ideally. Just to cover up those bits of lead belcher that are showing through. I did say I was going to shut up about it, but Orky's painting her Ghazghkull at the minute as well. Red one. Red one, because she wants him to go just that little bit faster. Red ones go a teeny tiny bit faster. We all know that. I think to myself, why did I bother painting the armour in contrast paint? I think it was just I wanted to try and one thing I like about the Black Templar is that when it dries, it's quite matte. Oh no, a bit satiny, I think, a bit satiny. But yeah, I wanted to try and leave some of the metallic showing through. I was kind of intrigued to see how it would look, but I don't like the look of it, as it turns out. So I'm just going over with, I think this is a third coat of Black Templar. What I should have done after the first coat failed was just whacked on some of Adam Black, but no, instead I just went in with another coat of Black Templar. Clint's unlurked. With a war on their lips, Essex boys returns like the cunning but brutal git they are. Yeah, I thought of something else I could add into the chat as commands as well. But that's not something I can do yet. I need to figure out how to do it. So we had Trissart in earlier who hasn't painted their Ghazghkull yet. Is there anyone in the chat who has painted their Ghazghkull? I feel like Clint has. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I can't remember. And if you did, have you got your links as commands yet? Yes, try !socials. And then it should just link my link tree, basically. So, if you try that, it should link my link tree, fingers crossed. I painted mine last month. Did you paint him as a Ghazghkull, Marcos? I can't remember now. I've seen that many Ghazghkulls over the months. I think, no, you did paint him as a Ghazghkull, didn't you, I think? Or am I wrong? I'm pretty sure you did. It's a little nerve-wracking when you type in a command, because I'm like, is it going to work? Is it going to work? I don't know. Because it takes ages to work on YouTube. They're a bit slow, these commands. I wonder if I've put it in wrong, though, because it's not coming up. Yeah, let's not worry about that, though. I'll try and address that issue afterwards. Yeah, it appears not to be working. But I should have a couple of links in the description anyway to... if you did want to follow me on other social media. Oh no, there's a couple of links in the description. One is to the link tree of Chilling Wargamers, so you can follow all the other Chilling Wargamers members. Got my Gaz painted last year. Yes, I thought you did. Was yours the one with the longer barrels on the gun? I think it was, wasn't it? But I can't remember exactly. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, have him a proper shooter. Yeah, nice one. I was pretty certain it was. Right. Let's give that an old wash now. Oh, I've knocked my camera. I do apologise. I'm tempted, I've got to say. Tempted. Why do I do this to myself on live streams? But I'm tempted to try a checkerboard on this. A blue checkerboard. Blue and grey, maybe. Let me entertain the idea. Where's my water? Could just keep it silver. I think I just spat then. Could just keep it silver, blue and silver. Oh no, let's do this. This might be too much colour, so I might change this back afterwards. 33 Clay Dog, welcome mate. Not seen you for a little while. Good to have you here. Yeah, things are going good for me. Things are on the up. That sounded like I was having like the best life ever or something. But yeah, things are good. Yeah, just I painted 55 miniatures this year, which is a massive achievement for me because it's more than I've ever painted in a previous year. Yeah, so things are going good. So I thought I'm like 3 days ahead of my schedule for 1 miniature per day, which I don't actually have to do 1 miniature per day, but you know I'm trying to paint 365 in the year. So I figured I'd give Ghazghkull some attention. It was about time I readdressed Ghazghkull. I best get on with packing, lads. I'll leave you on in the background. No worries, mate. Just crack on with what you got to do. Before I go though, smash that like button, you geeks. That was my Dread impression. Well, yes. There we go. Less of that. Right. Yeah, I hope you get everything done that you need to, dude. I'll try and think of what we can do together. And then get in touch. If you think of anything that you want to do specifically, get in touch with me as well. My time's a little bit limited at the minute because I work much longer hours than I used to now. I work like 50-hour weeks now. I say much longer, it's like 10 hours extra, but then it takes time off every evening, which is irritating. But I'll squeeze something in. More of that, Dread wants. It'll tear my throat up. Right, let's crack on with some blue dabbity dabbadai. I'm going to go metallic blue on this. I bet it's going to do that hydrophobic thing, isn't it? Oh no, it's not too bad. I'm going to go metallic blue on it, and then I think I'll go in maybe with grey checks or something. Yeah, it's got to be something fun, obviously. Obviously. I'll have a ponder. Oh, should I do them bits blue as well? I think maybe I should. Or should I do some bigger bits blue? I can't keep this guy in the right position. Oh, I've just realised I've missed a bit on his back. And I'm touching him all over, but somehow I'm not really getting any black on me, so it must be drying really quick, this contrast, which is a very positive thing for me. Right, now should it? No, I think I'll leave them showing as metallic. And this skull, I'm going to do in a metallic blue, just like the crotch guard, shall we say. Oh no, it's doing a hydrophobic thing up there. Can you see it? Just as I put the paint on, it's pushing it away. Just been super busy with commission work. Well, that's a little frustrating at times, I'm sure, but it's good. It's good in the long run, isn't it? Does that mean, though, you've not had time for your own hobby? What's the latest commission you've been working on? Is it something exciting? Is it something 40k related or something completely different, like not even GW? Not sure I like that. That extra bit of blue up there. I was thinking, you're supposed to do like triangles of colour, aren't you? So I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'd be dead smart here. I'll do a triangle of colour. But I'm looking at it and thinking, not sure. What's his shoulders like? He's gonna have them. He's not got any blue on there, has he? I think I'm gonna paint this bit blue as well. Yeah, no time for my own miniatures. Bad news, mate. Bad news. How many have you painted this year, commission-wise? Because I know, like, commission painters will obviously paint much faster than myself most of the time. But it depends what the customer wants, because they might want a really specific, like a character painting to a really high standard. I think you're capable of both, aren't you? Both the speed and the quality. Oh yeah, triangles of colour. I like that. Triangles of colour. I don't like it. I like it. Ninja Vix, welcome. Good to have you here. Are you working on anything yourself today? 2 full marine armies on the go and a heap of Marvel Crisis miniatures. Yes, it blew up in a big way when it first launched, Marvel Crisis, didn't it? Crisis Protocol, but it's I think it's one of them ones that is a bit frustrating in the same way that the Song of Ice and Fire game. Is it called a Song of Ice and Fire game? I can't remember. Song of Ice and Fire, Song of something of something. It's a something of something and something game. Anyway, the Game of Thrones game. The miniatures are hard to get hold of because the companies that produce them don't produce enough. So they sell out everywhere. They underestimate demand constantly, and they sell out, and then they're hard to get hold of for ages. So they're sold out for a little while, and then you have to sort of keep checking the website for when the one you want comes back in stock to get your hands on it a lot of the time, I think. And people sometimes, I think, when they can't get hold of one, they just go for another one, so then that one sells out, and then it's it's a vicious circle. What's this? It's a circle. What's this? It's a vicious circle. Hey! Been trying to get him to complete my Silent King. I'm Claydog's better half, right? Cool. Cool. Had to not even look at the Marvel stuff. Yeah, you've got to pick and choose. Or I personally, because I don't paint that quickly, I've got to pick and choose what hobby I do. So, or what miniatures I buy really. I'm having a bit of a clear out at the minute. So. There'll be prizes on that on the charity stream I'm doing with Let's Make It Orky on Twitch. There'll be plenty of prizes from like GW miniatures and other third party miniature makers, miniature companies and stuff. Check out Let's Make It Orky on Instagram, and then there's a few details in there of the sort of prizes will be in her latest post, I think. In fact, we'll have a look now. I'm going to put that down for a bit, and we can have a look at Orky's Instagram. Just a brief look. Yeah, I like that now. I didn't like it at first, but I like it now. I think I might do a little checkerboard thing on the groinal piece though. Groinal piece. What's that about? What's all that about, eh? Let's make it okay. Oh! We can compare and contrast as well with Ghazghkull. I'll tell you what, I'll try and get exactly the same grip going on. No, I don't think I can get exactly the same grip. But who did it better? Right? Remember this. Remember that, yeah? Whose is better? That one? Or, I need to go to the thingy screen. Look at that screen. Right, so remember that. And I'll get this one on screen for you now in a second. I'm so bad at technology. I get hassled for it constantly in the chat on Twitch. But I don't mind. And then, this. Who did it better? Me or Orky? What do you reckon? I reckon she did it better. Right, let's click back. Across. Let's click across and see what the next post says. Oh, fancy that. It's the Let's Make It Orky 12-hour charity stream for Mind. And it's on the 6th of March, midday to midnight. Giveaways from Ghazghkull Mag Shop, Warmaster Forge, Maker of the Night, Terrain Rocks, models from GW, Crafty Scenics, and more. So that's just to give you an idea of what some of the sorts of prizes you could win might be. Ghazghkull Mag Shop is a big one for viewers of this channel, I'm sure you'll agree. So if you want to be winning some Ghazghkull things, definitely pop in every now and again. Hopefully we'll have some more details of the prizes coming up prior to the stream. But if not, you'll just have to tune in for the stream and see what they are during the stream. Yeah, so I've, over the years, since I got back into the hobby, I've accumulated a number of miniatures and box sets and stuff that I've not done anything with, and I'm never, I'm not in a position right now when I'm going to be doing anything with them anytime soon. So it's let me just move that up there. There we go. I don't know if you can even hear that on this screen thinking about it. But yeah, I'm in a position where I've got excess kits basically, so I'm chucking in a few things to sweeten the deal, to bring a few people in, and hopefully we'll raise lots of money, which is a good thing. And let's crack back over to the desk down. Well, hey, back to Gaz. And back to my chat over here, because otherwise I'm going to be like, I don't know what you're saying to me. Right. And it's Stella time. Ah, splendid. Had to not even look at the Marvel stuff. Right, I've got to go get the roast on. Take care all. No worries, mate. Thanks for joining us, Essex. Thanks, fan. I am a fan, to be fair, though. Clint, I am a fan, so, feel free to refer to me as fan if you like. It's great to paint. I'll be over for a roast one of these days, Clint. He'll turn up on your doorstep when he moves out of his current place. He'll turn up on your doorstep, looking for somewhere to stay. Claydo's currently drinking lots of beers and playing World of Warships. Nice. That's World of Tanks, but on the sea, isn't it? See, I know things about technology and gaming and stuff. Cheers, guys. Likewise, if you come back to my neck of the woods, you're more than welcome over for a roast, Red. I don't know what kind of roast that is that he's offering you, but yeah, the hospitality is high everywhere. Hospitality is high. Does that even make sense? Let's crack on with Gaz. Let's shut up for a bit, shall we? Right. Oh, colours. I'm going to have a quick look on the GW's website, see how their Gaz is officially, their official paint job on Gaz is going. I'm thinking for wires, a lot of wires, these wires, this wire, well, that wire mainly. I'm thinking yellow. I've done a few other wires red, as you can just see at the top of the shot there. A couple of other wires red. I think they're the main wires. There's other wires elsewhere, but I just want to have a quick look on the Ghazghkull miniature. Ghazghkull Ghazghkull Thraka. I feel like I've misspelled Uruk in my Facebook posts I've done. Not that it's a massive deal. Ghazghkull Mag Uruk Thraka. Ooh, look at them wires there. Ah, so this one is painted yellow and black, hazard stripey. I'm going to slap some Nazdrag yellow on that, because that is looking like a lovely match for the way they've done it. Oh yeah, I was going to do more black on the back of his armour there. Nazdrag yellow, a proper rookie colour, if ever there was one. It's looking a little dark, but not too dark, see? I don't even know what colour that is I've put on. I feel like I'm going to knock that over if I leave it there. Let's go back to that. If I come to your neck of the woods for a visit, Dan, you'll have to put up with your southern accent. You'll have to put on your southern accent and translate for me when we go to the pub and local chipper. Chipper? What's a chip? I assume you mean chippy. Thanks for the effort translating today. No worries, man. No worries at all. I don't mind doing it every now and again. You should have seen me on that multi-stream the other day, though. I was doing all the accents. I was doing impressions of people that are in Orky's Discord all the time. There's a lad called, well, his Discord name and his Twitch name is Kenkfist. So I was doing an impression of him, and that went down a storm, I've got to say. Top of my impressions list. He just kind of talks like that all the time, and then often it ends in a laugh. So that's, yeah, my number one impression, I think, at the moment. The thing is, with me and impressions, though, I used to do like a really good Owen Wilson, but not so much anymore. I did like the first couple of times I did an Owen Wilson impression, it was spot on, and then ever since I've kind of lost it. It was just like, John Wayne, that's a terrible cowboy name. That's my Owen Wilson impression. First time I did it, it was amazing. Ever since, rubbish. What film's that? Is it Wild Wild West? No. Is he in Wild Wild West? I don't know. It's one with him and Jackie Chan, but I can't remember what it is. It's not Wild Wild West, is it? What film are Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan in? Should I ask Google? Nah, forget it. Let's not worry about that. Yeah, so yellow's looking good. I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh, that should be flashy. Any more yellow bits that we need to
slap on some paint to snazz it up a little bit. Oh, that's looking good to me, pal. Over here, though, we'll get some on here.
I have. We've got good chippies here on Yorkshire's beautiful coast. Welcome anytime, Dread. Free digs, free dids, free digs. I read it as the correct word, even though it was in the chat. It's amazing, the brain, isn't it? You start reading a word and you know what it is before you finish reading it. Although sometimes just one letter can throw you off. Like Zen put something in the chat earlier and one letter just threw me off. Couldn't work out what he was saying right away. But then I worked it out shortly after.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. There we go. Should I paint that yellow? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Nah, paint that yellow. I'll paint that yellow. Let's go back to Gdub to see what colour they. Oh, they've got it yellow. They've got it yellow. I'm going to do it yellow then. Because I do want to do the odd bit here and there yellow. And that bit's black. I love Nazdrag yellow, me. Some people don't like it. But I love how I like a dirty brownie looking yellow myself. So Nazdrag yellow is like perfect for me, for my tastes of yellow when it comes to yellow paint. Oh, that looks a bit messy. I'll have to wash that. Oh, my paint water's a bit dirty. It's basically black. Or no, it's green. Have a look at that. That's my paint water. Back to the miniature. Look at your man. Look at your man. Now back to me. Back at your man. Now back to me. What's that from? Is it an advert? I feel like it is, but I'm not sure.
Right, you geeks.
I'm liking my new chair. I'll always remember this stream as the first thing I watched in it. Fantastic stuff. This is the kind of madness that you want to watch in a new chair, I think. Oh, we're on half one. I've been half one. We're on half three. I've been going for an hour, just over an hour. Right, I might nip up to the loo for a bit, you know. I say for a bit. I'm not going for a long time. It's just going to be a wee. But yeah, I might nip to the loo and you can watch paint dry if you want. What do you want to do? Do you want to watch paint dry? Let's vote in the chat. Say paint for watching paint dry and say back soon screen or back soon for back soon. I'm just gonna go for a wee. I'm gonna put the be back soon screen so you don't have to watch paint dry. Be back soon.
I'm back.
I do apologise. I've got issues with my back at the minute. Let's turn that down again. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. But when I'm walking through my house and I sort of just casually twist and stuff like that, I keep getting a spasm in like the left-hand side of my back. I think I'm putting too much, when I'm working, I'm putting too much on the right-hand side of my body. I need to sort of spread it out equally and lift it alternately, the stuff I'm lifting. Anyway, and it's also probably the fact that I'm crossing my legs a lot of the time when I've got them under the desk here. Got to go. Take care. No worries, Clay. Have a good day, bud. I missed that message when you first sent it, so I do apologise if you're still watching. Have a good day, like I said though. If you watch this back later. Marcos wanted to watch paint dry. I do apologise, Marcos. I should have waited that little bit longer, but I thought, you know what? Turn your music up either way. I hope you wash your hands. I did, I splashed a bit of water on them. I didn't put any soap on them though, because I like to keep them a little bit dirty. Just because that's the way I am. That's the way I am. It's a pandemic, you should wash his hands. I wash my hands a lot more now with soap than I ever have done in the past. I never used to use soap because I'm horrible. No, because it dries out my hands and stuff. But I've been getting like really bad eczema like stuff on my hands. I think I mentioned it in one of my other streams. It might have been on Twitch, so I'm not sure. But yeah, I get dry skin, and like soap and stuff like that can really make it flare up. So whenever I used to wash my hands, I used to just use water. But I think, to be honest, I think the eczema stuff seems to flare up more when there's really hot water. And in work, if you use the hot tap, it's really hot water. So I might just start using cold water and see how that goes. But then that normally affects my hands in other ways. I've got really rubbish skin, basically. You got a knot on your under your shoulder, on the nerve by the sound of it. I'll have to crawl around the house and see if I can work it out. Yeah, it's like right down next to my spine, under. It's like lower than the shoulder blade, sort of right down the middle of my back. I get the same with my hands down. They go entirely peely everywhere. Yeah, it's like mine. I've always had like dry skin. I've always had dry skin on my face and stuff, and on my head, like a bit like dandruff. But I've always had like hair especially, and in my beard, dry skin. But then hands have never really been like that, but they've just been started getting like that recently since I started my new job. One thing that has changed since I started my new job though is I used to get really itchy eyes in my old job, and I don't get itchy eyes anymore. So it must be something at the old job, MDF probably. That means I'm not working with MDF now. I'm working with plastics. So that's I'm not working in the vicinity of MDFs, I should say. It's all plastics now, so that means the eyes seem to be much better, unless, because I did think for a bit it was just hay fever, like pollen's getting released all year round and stuff, isn't it? And there's certain pollens released in greater intensity at different times of year. So I did think for a bit it could be pollens that are released in like autumn, winter time. But it's stopped now, so it's not autumn, winter time stuff, really. You break out in heat blisters over your hands over the summer. That's bad times, man. I got really badly sunburnt when I was a kid. I've got like, I don't know if you can tell, I'm very pale. I got really, just checking I am still pale on the screen up there. Got really badly sunburnt as a kid and had a massive like half a golf ball sized blister on my arm and like a fried egg on my chest. But yeah, so I've got like weedy skin basically. Weedy. I need more patrons so I can buy a lotion, exactly. Right, so this is, I mentioned a paint earlier that I've had this happen only a couple of times with GW paints, but look at this. Look at that. solid. And I tried touching it with like a coffee stirrer, and it was having none of it. Like I was going to try and break it up and mix a bit of medium in with it, but it's like it's proper solid, that. And I know you'll all say in the chat now, put them in dropper bottles and don't buy GW paints and whatnot. I like these pots. I always have done. It's just they're not very good for keeping your paint in usable condition. Look at that. It's proper solid. Just pushing it off the rim there. Pushing it off the rim. I'm not going to make that joke. That's an allergic reaction. Antihistamines work. I've lived on Benadryl during the summer, allergic to all sorts of stuff. Right, let me grab another sip of water and then I'll crack on with the painting. Just want to have a quick check on Gaz on the G-Dub site. G-Dubs! I want to see if he's got any other checks anywhere other than his gob. He doesn't. Well, his gob and his fist. So I'm thinking, because no, he has got some on that shoulder there, but they're very faint. And then some dags on the other shoulder. Right, I'll tell you what I might do. Might do some blue ones on one of the shoulder pads. I'll need some blue paint. And there's the blues. I'm blue, dabba-dee dabba-die, dabba-dee dabba-die, dabba-dee dabba-die. Cancel blue? That should do. Not that one, that one. It only started randomly 2 years ago. Yeah, it's I think allergic reactions and stuff like that, they can just start randomly in your life, can't they? So it could very well, like Gar says, be an allergy. Hope you get it sorted, because it can be very annoying when stuff like that happens and you've got no explanation for it and stuff. Oh no. This Cantor Blue is very much going the same way as that Moot Green. I must have left these paints all in the sun somewhere. R.I.P. my paint set. R.I.P. my paint set. Oh, I don't know why I'm using this brush, to be fair. Potentially a bad decision, this. This one's the one I want. It's the one of the one. It is the one I want. Ooh, 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 honey. I feel like, as well... Oh, I should close that pot for a start. But I feel like, as well, I should put this on something. Like a paint pot. Or I'll tell you what, I'll put it on a painting handle. Seeing as though I've got some there, and I'm not using them. But I'm not going to put it on a painting handle the normal way. I'm going to put it on a painting handle on a bit of blue tack, because, you know, what better way to use your painting handles than stick a bit of blue tack on them, and then stick the part you're painting on. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful. That's how you're supposed to use them, right? Just stick a bit of blue tack on it. I'm going to pop out this chat and put it over here, actually, so I don't need this screen necessarily. Oh, I've crossed my legs again. About that much. Let's move that over there. Oh no, I don't want a big one. There we go, that'll do. And then I will open up that GW site over here. Boom. So I can see roughly where each checker bit is. Savage shirt, by the way, Dan. Thank you very much. It's yeah, it's one of my snazzy shirts, paid for by patrons, because I am a proper flashy get. These are just like cheap synthetic brushes. You get a pack of about 10 of them, and I probably paid like £2 for it or something. But they're alright. They're no good for painting metallics, because I think they're just too soft or something. I tried painting. Well, I did actually. I did paint my Necrons with them that I finished painting this morning. But they're not bad. They seem to keep the point in that. But painting Necrons, I felt like they were just a bit too soft. I love a splash of colour, me. Yeah, everyone loves a splash of colour deep down, don't they? I say that. You get people saying that. No, I always wear black. I only wear black because I'm a goth. I wasn't allergic to anything until I was 40. Hay fever for the first time and went into anaphylactic shock the same year after a wasp sting. Bad times, mate. But you're still here, so, you know. Came out the other end, thankfully. I've never had a reaction until about 5 years ago when I visited home and had fish and chips. Moments later, I was itching from head to toe, everywhere, constantly, and it lasted for 3 days non-stop. I scratched myself sore and only some prescription antihistamine got rid of it. Yeah, it's, I didn't have any skin. I am not, before I go into this story, I'm not an anti-vaxxer or anything like that. I think vaccinations are a good thing. But, after having a vaccination when I was younger, I got like an all-over body rash. And since then, that was when I started getting dry skin and stuff on my face and that. Not long after that. So, well, I say not long after, I mean it was like ever since then. So as soon as, basically, it was like some of the final years of, I think it was like final year of my primary school education. I was about to go into high school, and I went into high school with this like dry skin condition. And I don't know what it was. It may have been an allergic reaction to the vaccination or something like that. But yeah, it's one of those things. I can't even see this now. The blue's too close. You can see it better on camera, I think, than I can see it with my eyes. But the blue's very close to the metallic there. To the black. To my eyes, it is anyway. Is this a religious band? They're singing about the devil and young medicine. They're singing about the devil and original sin. So I wonder if they are actually a religious band. Original sin is like a Christian thing. That's why you get baptized into the. Oh no! How have I done that so wrong? Ha! I've just completely got off the rails with that. I think. Does it look like? Actually, no. It looks like I have done. I can't because it's so close to my eyes. It's so close. The two different ones. I find it difficult to see. There is one there, isn't there? I'm going to bring these up with brighter colours in certain areas at least. Like I said, it looks alright on camera, you can see it on camera, but I can barely see that difference with my eyes, so it's a bit tricky for me to paint it. Yeah, original sin is the reason Christians are baptized. It's something to do. I don't remember the ins and outs of it. The subject I'm going to talk about now is all about ins and outs as well. I think it's to do with the conception of a child. And original sin is a child is born with original sin because it's the act of making the child that is the sin. So when they're born, they have to be baptized into the faith to cleanse themselves of that original sin. That's the view, anyway, of various branches of Christianity. Fun religious news for you. News, not news. It's old news, that. Yeah, try getting Steve into a yellow shirt, and he's a bad moon. Exactly, yeah, you never get him into a yellow shirt. Have I seen him in one? I feel like I've seen him in one. I feel like he's worn one once, and he made a big deal out of it, like it was the greatest, not the greatest thing in the world, but like it was the hardest thing in the world for him to do. Prickly heat, prickly heat every day in summer. Bad news. I keep saying bad news, don't I? I need to cheer up a bit. And I guess, Dan, kids were, as kids, horrible gits. To be fair, no. Like, I got away with it, like, most of the time. But it was more, I think, like, I've probably suffered more. I say suffered. I've not, like, particularly suffered with it or worried about it or anything like that. But I've probably, as an adult, received more attention on the face. Like, you can see it now. It's like, oh, it's blotchy around here and there and stuff. And it's like, I think it's a mixture of dry skin and rosacea for me. And there was a customer once in my old job when I worked in a store, a Nike store. He was some sort of Arabic man. I think he might have been from the UAE or something. And he said to me, he's the nicest man. And he's like, "Oh my God, you burned your face. You should see a doctor." And I was like, "Oh no, it's just like dry skin." And that. He's like, "Oh, you should see a doctor in my country. We would give you medicine for this." And it's like, "Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it." But it was particularly bad that day. But yeah, I don't suffer with it so much anymore because I say I don't suffer with it. I treat it more, and the way I treat it is get a really rough exfoliant. So I get this St Ives apricot scrub, and what it is ground up apricot stone, the pit from an apricot, ground up, and it's like chunks of apricot stone, rubbing it all over your face, and it's quite abrasive. And when you first do it, it's like, oh, but then it gets rid of so much dry skin and that, and it sort of the flare up sort of tends to go away a bit. And then I wash it afterwards with like an anti-dandruff shampoo to get rid of any flakes, and then with I put a aqueous cream on it, which is like an emollient moisturiser type thing. And I don't wash the aqueous cream off. Some people might, but I put it on and I just sort of let it dry on my damp skin, and then as I get out of the bath and I'm drying myself and stuff, I go to the mirror, I see if there's any bits of aqueous cream, like chunks of it, and I just like rub them in, and it just sort of spreads it out nicely and gets me nice and moist. I've got allergy tested on NHS and negative for dust and dogs, but I've got some allergy. Take antihistamine at bedtime and feel much better the next day. A lot of people are allergic to the preservatives in intravenous drugs. I know from experience. There was. I know when they were talking about starting COVID vaccinations and stuff like that, there was going to be certain groups of people that wouldn't be able to have certain vaccines, depending on what the medium was that the vaccine was held in. Because there's certain ones that provoke an allergic reaction in certain people and stuff like that. It's medical stuff. It's complicated, isn't it? A lot of people have read that bit. I'm just not someone who takes medication of any kind on a regular basis. I don't even have any drugs just in case here, unfortunately. Maybe I'll take better care of myself when I come home to the NHS. It's like I don't tend to take anything either, like even painkillers and stuff. I'm thankful I don't often have pain. Like, I've got that back twinge at the minute, but it's not caused me any major issue yet. But I don't often get headaches and stuff like that, or toothache and stuff, and when I do, I tend to treat it like, if I get toothache, I it tends to be like bacterial for me, like a bit of bacteria under a gum somewhere. So I either treat it with salt water or with an antibacterial mouthwash. So this has just gone off on a ridiculous tangent, hasn't it? That looks well good on screen, but I can't see it with my eyes. But yeah, this has gone off on a ridiculous tangent, so I'll round this off shortly. But yeah, for me, I'm pretty much the same. I don't like to take painkillers if I feel like I don't need them, because like I might get a headache, but it might only be there for 10 minutes or something. So gone after that, isn't it? But if I did have a long-lasting headache and stuff, I'd consider taking painkillers. Obviously, if I felt I needed them, if I was struggling. It's a strain of the sin. Strain of the sin of Adam and Eve, not the procreation. Right, thank you very much. That is what it is. Yeah, you're right. I remember hearing that not too long ago, actually. I think it was Kevin Smith, of all people, talking about it, because he was brought up Catholic as well. But I was... it's been a long time since I've learnt any of that stuff. So, because I went to Catholic schools and stuff, but I don't even believe in God now, really. So... there's that. I'm still happy in my life and stuff. I think religion can teach you good things, though. Ways to treat people and stuff. But also, there's things in religion that don't necessarily make sense in the modern world and stuff. But, you know, it's up to you to choose as an individual. I say it's up to you to choose. Some people feel like it's not a choice, and it is. They are of a particular faith and stuff, so you know it's up to. That's the only way I can say it. It's up to you to choose what you want to believe in that. Yeah, because the innocence of a newborn baby needs cleansing. Exactly, Trev. Yeah, it does sound daft, doesn't it? But that's one of the things. It's worth getting allergies sorted, Dread. Life is better after. I had my bullies in younger years of school, managed to shake them off by mid-school though. Yes, Did you go to mid-school, Dread? So, did you go to primary school, middle school and high school? Because in Manchester, we only have primary school and high school. But I know a friend of mine, some of her kids have been to a middle school and they're like in Staffordshire, Derbyshire sort of area. But yeah, hey up the Hobby Corner, Kev, joining us once again for a stream. Thank you very much for popping in, and welcome to the stream. Are you working on any hobby yourself today? We're just talking about allergies. What else? We talked about religion, and we're talking about... I mean, these are all subjects, especially religion and politics. I'm not going to start on politics, but these are all subjects you're not supposed to talk about on stream, I think. But hey, there we go. Yeah, we've just been talking about all sorts of... I need to stop crossing my legs, because I think that's what's causing my back issue, or potentially one of the things that could be causing my back issue. With the vaccines, don't worry, because it's standard practice for people to be held for 15 minutes before they are allowed to go, just in case of an allergic reaction. Thank you very much for that, Jen. Jen. Zen. Is about 0.1% of people do have an allergic reaction, and that's why we've got docs and nurses on hand for anyone that does. Yeah, I'm not worried. When eventually I get the chance to... I understand why you're saying it, though, for anyone that's watching. When I eventually get the chance to go for a vaccination, I'll be straight in there. I found over the years that a good flannel with no products on it, but the hot shower water is sufficient to get clean. Products dry out the skin and kill the natural bacteria that eat stuff. That ends up smelling a bit, though. That ends up smelling and creating BO. Now, just primary and secondary, right, cool. But it was huge. The school was split up. Ah, right, okay. Dig Muck Skunk Wall. Had 800 or 900 kids in my year. In your year group alone, that is huge. When they talk about big class sizes and stuff in London, I mean, you're from the London area, aren't you, Dred? I think you are. Well, yeah, or are you just from somewhere else down south outside of London? But yeah, when they talk about big class sizes in certain areas, that's what they're talking about. Like 800 or 900 kids in your year group is massive for over here. I went to a Catholic school, like I said, but in my high school, when I was there, it was like 2,000 kids for the whole school, not for a year group. It was 200 in each year group. Obviously, we weren't a state multi-faith school. We were. It was a Catholic school, so there we go. Big Mac Dank School. Yeah, that's right. Big Mac Dank School. I've been waiting for someone to say that one for a while. Just chilling and watching Jurassic Park whilst the kids trash the living room. Cue meme of dog drinking coffee surrounded by fire saying, "This is fine." I went to school when you got educated, not indoctrinated. Lol, I went to school when you were just another brick in the wall. We had like 30 to 35 kids per class. That's, to be fair, even though we were a school of only 2,000 kids, we had similar numbers in each class. So, yeah. You had plenty of teachers as well then by the sounds of it. Right, let's get another blue out, I think, and see if we can brighten this shoulder pad up a bit, but not too much. What's after Cantor Blue on GW's blue theory? I don't know where all my paints have gone. I'm really unprepared for this stream. I've got some paints here, but I can't find any blues that I think would be sufficient. I think Calidor Sky is maybe the one I'm looking for, but it's not there. I wonder what I've done with it. Right, you guys can watch paint dry for a second while I go and search for another blue, because I can't see like you can see that on screen. So I'll be back shortly and hopefully return with a more appropriate blue than the ones I've got here, which I feel are all a little bit too light. Found them straight away, so I'm straight back. Fantastic stuff. You don't have to miss me too much. I thought you finished Gaza. No, I didn't finish Gaza. He's a long way off from finished. I stopped painting him, but that's what I tend to do with my hobby. I start painting for a bit and then I stop painting after a bit, and then I leave the project forever. That's why I'm doing the 365 challenge this year, to make sure I finish some projects this year. 365 of them, hopefully. Miniatures, not projects. I send my kids to Catholic private school. There is about 15 per class. It's much better than public school in Texas right now. That is a very small class size, and the good thing about that is they'll get lots of... they'll get a chance, the opportunity to have individual attention if they need it. That's one of the things about like publicly funded school, private school in the UK. Fee-paying schools in the UK, like, they do so much better in exam results and stuff because the kids can get individual attention, but not everybody likes it. It's weird, isn't it? Like, because not everybody can have it, that's why people don't like it. But it's yeah, just one of those things. Like, if you have the opportunity to do it, I don't see any reason you shouldn't do it. We had large classes, but good curriculum and mostly good teachers. Mostly. It's interesting how, though, one teacher's approach can really affect your success in a subject. In college, I had a business studies teacher that was like, his way of teaching was perfect for my brain, really worked well. So I would have got an A in his class in business studies. I would have got an A at the end of the year, but I ended up with a B because in the part of the curriculum that a trainee teacher taught me, I couldn't get my head around the stuff as he was explaining it. So in that part of the curriculum, I think I got an E. But every other module of the curriculum, I got an A. So, because I had a trainee teacher who had a different teaching style, I couldn't get my head around that particular part of the subject. I can't remember what it was now, but yeah, it is interesting how, like I said, different teaching styles can appeal to different people. think I've got brush soap on that and I just had it straight in my mouth. Oh dear. My kids went to the same school as me but didn't get taught half as much of the stuff as we got. I'd love to send my kids somewhere like a Steiner school when I have them. What's a Steiner school? I don't know, I'll have to look into that. There were a couple of teachers that were just crap at the jobs. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? As well, like there's just some that I think some people go into teaching and they want to it's like a vocation. It's it's what they've always wanted to do. They see it as the dream job, and they get into it, and it is the dream job. Sort of helping people learn and grow as individuals and that. And then other people go in looking for a job. It's not a vocation for them. It's just like it's about earning a bit of money. Teachers don't get paid massive amounts, but it's about earning a bit of money, isn't it? At the end of the day, and paying the bills and stuff like that for some people. So it's with teachers like that. Not always. Like some can probably still be good teachers, even if they just see it as a means to an end, a job or whatever. But I think for some people it's a vocation and it's something they're really passionate about. For other people it's something that's I really can't see that. There's an issue here. I'm trying to go on the edge of these blues, but I can't see them with the naked eye. I was only going to do the edges, but then I ended up doing the whole check. Well, that's bright, isn't it, compared to the previous one? Whoops. I didn't mean to go that bright. Yeah, so for some people it's a vocation and some people it's a job, and I think that's where you see the difference, really. No, come right off angle there. Right off at a dodgy angle. That's much brighter, isn't it? I think I might have to darken that down with a wash of Black Templar afterwards. Or just a bit of sponge stippling. Right, that'll do for me. It looks very bright on screen, but it's not that bright, I assure you, to the naked eye. And what I'll do is, like I said, go in there with a bit of sponge stippling afterwards to try and just bring it back down. That's why I blew that brush then. To try and bring it back down and sort of where it fades off into the black, I'll put a bit more stippling on there, I think, and a bit more on here, so it just fades off a little bit more gradually than it is doing now, because it just sort of comes to an abrupt end now. There were a couple of teachers. I went to public school with large classes, but the school system has changed so much since I went. Yeah, it's. I think you see that generationally, don't you? As we go on into the future. I think both in the States and in the UK, as time's gone by, we've seen big changes in things like schooling and stuff like that, and also in like prison systems and stuff. You look at, don't want to touch on it too much, but you look at the prison system. I was watching a documentary about it recently, not just about the prison system, but the correctional system in the US, and the way things changed, say from like the middle of the 20th century up until the end of the 20th century, and the populations and the ethnicities of the populations in the prisons and stuff like that. It's crazy when you look into the stats of it all. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to go down that road, but yeah, like I think generationally and year after year we see massive changes in parts of society that we kind of assume are always going to be there for us and to help society, but they're not always, as it turns out, the best ways to help people and stuff, and the best ways to teach people, I guess, when you're talking about schools. My old school changed a lot too. It used to be a zoo, but now it's an academy and very well rated. New high-tech buildings and facilities. Yeah, so academies are a weird one because they weren't around when I was a kid. But they're basically like privately owned public schools kind of thing, aren't they? Like I say, in the UK it's weird because when someone says public school, some people mean school, like government-run school. But when other people say public school, they mean publicly run school run by private individuals in the public. So they actually mean like private school. So it's a little bit tricky. When I say public school, I mean government run. Publicly, government funded school kind of thing is what I mean. My second school was a boys' high school, but changed to a mixed comprehensive during my final exam year. Distracted to say the least. Exactly, when you've been held back for that long, for that period until the final year, and you get a load of women thrown at you, or girls as it would have been at the time. So like, you're a young lad, like. I remember the outdoor pool. The outdoor pool. What kind of school in the UK has an outdoor pool? We don't get that up here. I remember the outdoor pool was never clean and looked like a pond, and the way they'd heat it was get 60 kids in moving around in circles for 10 minutes before the teacher would even get close. Nice. In the entirety of my massive school, there wasn't one bird worth a mention, but I did go to another school for a few months, and that place was a gold mine. There were fights on both playgrounds every single day, usually more than one. Public to me is government run. Yeah, that's what, because it's the school that every member of the public has access to, so that's what I've always seen public school as. But yeah, I think some people in the UK, when they say public school, like on certain news channels and stuff, they say public school, they mean funded by private individuals in the public or something like that. It's confusing. Confusing to me. Maybe I've thought about it too much and I'm just confusing myself now. Anyway, there's a shoulder pad. Let's move that out of the way. Should we do some of his bass now? I feel like I should. Oh no, let's do this, right, because I want to come back in and sort of reinforce the red in this. I'm gonna get a different brush though, because this one sort of splays out a bit. This army painter one. I feel like I've mistreated it a little bit, and it's probably one of the brushes I've had for a longer period now. They must learn that. They must learn that in the posh schools that they go to. Yeah. Right, so now I need reds. So let's see if I've got any reds nearby, or the reds that I want specifically. I've got corn red. Oh no, that's Mephiston red, isn't it? You know what? I might go with a bit of Mephiston red to try and bring out the red in some of these bits. Mephiston. There were plenty of hot chicks in the school I went to. There were plenty of hot chicks. Just the way I read that then, I just felt like such an English person. There were plenty of hot chicks in the school I went to. My wife went to the same high school as... You've got to say that because she's looking over your shoulder. No, I've no idea what your wife looks like. I'm sure. I trust you. I trust you, Marco. So I'm sure if you say she is a hot chick, then I'm sure she is. Hubba hubba. This paint's nearly gone. I need another Mephisto red. I'm sure I've got one. I have got one open. It's just next to the corn red down there. I was thinking that was a different colour. Yeah, that's well done, that paint. Oh no, it's still got some in the bottom there that's usable. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. I feel like this is going to take it up too bright, but what I'll do is knock it back down again with a wash afterwards. I worked for in laboratories in a new and live school for 20 odd years, and at least 5 years-ish was all brand new academies, and the expenditure per pupil was 15 times the national average. That's a lot, isn't it? 15 times the national average, that's crazy. I feel like it's going to be too red, isn't it? Look at the colour difference there. Let's give it a go. I can knock it back down. Nah, I like it already. I can wash it with Flesh Terror Red afterwards, I think. Just to tone it down a little. Which was the original colour I did it in. Got a bit on the metallic there, so let's just grab a bit of the old water on this brush. Get it off. It's very bright, that in comparison, isn't it? Oh, my screen's gone funny. I think it can't handle that red. The red's too fast for it. It's gone like all warpy. Yeah, when you start looking at private costs, it's mental. How people with kids in schools that literally cost a mortgage to attend. It is like how people can afford it. It's beyond me. Like literally, it's beyond my financial means. My friend got a scholarship to a local private school. I say local, it was like, I didn't think it was local at the time, but yeah, it was local private school. And now he's a doctor. I think he's a brain surgeon in London. Yeah, his mum's Iranian, and I think when you get someone from a different culture coming into a country, you see it quite often. I think in immigrant families, they want the kids to succeed, so they really concentrate on their education from massive numbers of immigrant families, not just from a particular region, whether it's African immigrants or West Indian immigrants and so on and so forth. They really push the kids in school and stuff. And not that Homer wasn't a pushy parent or anything like that, but she wanted the best for him and wanted to make sure he did enough in life so that he'd be comfortable when he got older. And yeah, so he took an 11 plus, got a scholarship to go to Stockport Grammar, and then he was and now he's out of it, and he's a doctor in London, one of the London hospitals. And I think as a nation, you can't sort of generalize completely, but as a nation we don't have that as a general rule. I think a lot of parents don't tend to push the kids in that, and it's not, it's up to you how you raise your kids, and I wouldn't want to push them into anything they didn't want to do, but getting them, try to make sure they get the best education possible and stuff like that, that's definitely admirable. It's an admirable quality in a parent, and I think everybody wants the best for the kids, but some people go the extra mile to try and make sure the kids have the best. And Homer wasn't. Homer was my mate's mum, or is my mate's mum. She wasn't well off or anything like that, but she always just You know, she came over here for uni at first when she first came over here. So she came over for education, basically. And now she's... yeah, she's not the most well off. She wasn't the most well off back then, but she managed to get Ali the right sort of education in primary school and stuff. And I think she paid for a tutor for him. She worked extra shifts to get a tutor for him and stuff like that, in order that he could take an 11 plus and get into a private school when the time came. My cousins went to private schools. They'll be minted for life. Yeah, that's it. When you get into that system, you tend to succeed in your exams and stuff like that. If you can afford to get into that system, or you can get into it one way or another, you tend to have more success in life. It's as simple as that. Because you make the right sort of connections when you're in school and stuff. Not that you won't succeed if you go to a public school, but your chances of success are exponentially increased if you go to a private school. What colour is the other check on this on the website? Yeah, it's black. I've got a sort of white in there as well. A lot of wealthy immigrant pupils too of all races. Costs are well beyond the average British family's income. Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, there's it's like when you look at the housing market and stuff in the UK now. All the expensive properties in London, or you know, a massive percentage of it is owned by wealthy immigrant families and stuff. Well, not like true immigrants, but people that foreign investors and stuff that you know, they have a second home over here and stuff like that. I think it's hard to judge anyone for doing that as well. If you could afford to do that, I feel like a lot of people would. I'm not saying everybody in this chat would, but I feel like a lot of people would anyway. It's like a British person that has a second home in Cornwall and stuff. The Cornish tend to not be fans of that for obvious reasons, but it's just one of those things. If you can afford to have a second home in Cornwall or Devon, or a nice coastal county, why wouldn't you? Oh yes, that's looking much brighter now. It looks very bright on screen. It's not quite that bright. Wonder if I can adjust my contrasts. Yeah, I'm liking the look of that now, compared to how it was. Let's just plonk that in there, see how we do. How does that go in?
How does that go in, fella?
Not like that. Unfortunately, I'm the trotter end of the family, says Dread. I was watching Modelling for Advantage the other day, and they were talking about the Wars of the Roses and stuff, and I was about to pipe up about my heritage, and my nana is a Percy, and the Percys were one of the families heavily involved in Wars of the Roses, and one of the few lines that have survived to this day since the Wars of the Roses. And the first Duke of Northumberland was a Percy, Lord Percy, first Duke of Northumberland or whatever, and now they're up to like the 32nd, I think, Duke of Northumberland is still a Percy. But yeah, my nana's a Percy, and she does descend from that line. So I was about to pipe up about the Percys, and then they said, I think it was Kaiser, it was the guest talking about. I can't remember the guest's name. I tuned in late on in the show, so I can't remember who the guest was. But I'll have to have a look into it because he was talking about some stuff. It was fascinating stuff about the Wars of the Roses. I think Kaiser was saying the Percys were the most treacherous family during the Wars of the Roses. They flipped back and forth between the Lancastrian forces and the Yorkshire forces frequently. So it's like you couldn't really trust them. So I didn't let them know my heritage as I was watching. I was like, and I won't mention it then, because everybody will think I've got that treacherous gene. But it's interesting because there was a lad that I used to work with, and also a family that I used to work with that are also descended from people involved in Wars of the Roses. But I suppose people involved in Wars of the Roses have a lot of descendants. But unless the families were completely wiped out at the time. But yeah, it's a lot of the time the families weren't completely wiped out. Now, go back and watch Modern from Vantage video from Tuesday evening, the live stream Tuesday evening, if you want to know more about this. Because I might be misremembering it, but they weren't wiped out, but they were, I can't remember the phrasing they used, but basically they were disgraced. They were stripped of all titles and stuff like that. A lot of the families involved in Wars of the Roses. So they have a lot of descendants, but they're not wealthy people. They're not landowners. They were stripped of titles, lands, and this and that and the other. But it's fascinating stuff. Gar saying he's the black sheep of the family. Yeah, lots of Asians down south go private. Even if their family struggle to send them, they know in the end it will come back to them because of the way they do family and finance. Yeah, exactly. If I think a lot of people think like if them suffering, so to speak, at the end of the day, if them suffering for a few years, so to speak, or for 15, 20 years, so to speak, to work an extra job or something like that in order to send their kid to a private school, an expensive private school, if that will pay off in the long run for them and their child becomes a doctor, a dentist, a politician, even anything like that, then a lawyer or loads of high-paying jobs, then they can then benefit from that in the long run because of the way certain cultures and stuff they look after their elders and stuff as they grow. So as they grow, when they come into adulthood, they then become the breadwinners of the family and stuff like that. Not that the older generations of the family stop as breadwinners and stuff, but the child becomes a parent kind of thing. It's that kind of a close-knit family unit that I think is beneficial in a massive way, and I think more of society could do with being a bit more like that. Yeah, doctors and scientists and taking care of the whole family. It's like I said, it's the way to do it. If you've got the foresight to do it, it's the way to do it. I think I don't know. I've never had that drive and determination for myself. So as a parent, I'm not sure I'd have that drive and determination to want to struggle to ensure. I mean, I could go out now. I say want to struggle. I could go out now and get a much higher paying job. I just have to sit another test, get a Class 1 lorry licence, and then I could be earning 50% more than I'm earning now. And I'm currently earning 20% more than I was earning in my last job. And that's without getting any extra qualifications or anything. So I could actually go out now, get a much higher paying job, and then if I had kids and stuff, I could potentially, probably not, but I could start saving in the long run, and then when I did have kids, I could in the long run have enough money to put aside to then be able to send them to a better school to get privately educated and so on and so forth. How did we get onto this subject so much? It's crazy. My mum and dad both did have 2 jobs. My mum and dad did 2 jobs to have a British holiday every year. I grew up in the 60s, which was said to be a good era financially for most people. Yeah, Chet Morris failed all his exams, so they gave him an honorary degree anyway. Knew he would be PM one day at 19. Slipped up during a speech. Yeah, wow. You must be when you get the ability to switch. That must be where you get your ability to switch your voice, Dan. Oh, from my ancestry. Yeah, probably. My treacherous. It's my two-facedness. Also, is my two-voxedness. Just having a quick look on this Ghazi now to see where. Let's get him up on screen. Let's compare and contrast. Right, we'll go to the so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at the spinny Gaz on the GW website. So just check a few wires and stuff to see what we've got going on in various areas. If you're playing the Big Mac Dance School drinking game, take a shot now, even if it's of your tea. I do need to go in with a bit more black on the back though, I think. Ah, his arm fell off. I didn't glue it in place, it's okay. Oh, that's looking a bit messy. I think when I go in with the Flesh Terror, that'll look a little less messy, so that'll be fine. Oh yes indeedy. Let's start building him, eh? So on screen now you can see the second best Gaz ever. And you're soon to see, mostly assembled, the bestest Gaz ever. You can tell I didn't go to private school, didn't you? The bestest. No, I wouldn't really say the bestest. That was for laughs. Can I get that in there without knocking the arm off? Let's find out. Oh, sit down, baby. Let's have a little fun. Where's his other shoulder pad? I was painting it. She's the devil. She's coming after me. She's the devil. Oh no, it's not going to hold. Right, so you've got that Gaz on screen now. The second best Gaz ever. And now take a look. Get ready to look at the best Gaz ever. I'm going to go from that one to mine. If I can remember how to get back to my scenes. Desk down. The best Gaz ever. I danced all night with the best Gaz ever. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ish. It's coming along nicely though. I'm pretty pleased with how he's coming along. I need to dirty up a few areas. I need to add a bit of blood effect to his claw, I think. And paint in a few more wires and whatnot. So let's crack on. Do we still have the chat? We do still have the chat. My Indian friend came to the UK when he was 12 with his family and was already educated well in English, maths and business. That's it. That's I think a lot of we think, when I say we, I don't necessarily mean us individuals that are talking, that are discussing this now, but I got this from Akala's book, Natives, Racing Class in the Ruins of Empire it's called. Natives, Racing Class in the Ruins of Empire by Akala. And he was saying educational systems in other countries are actually really good, and education in other countries, especially like countries that we consider lesser than ours, shall we say, less well off and less wealthy and stuff, but their education they get over there is good. And I think it's culturally it's different, the education system over there. So a lot of people of trying to think of the right words, basically people of colour in British schools when their parents were immigrants, they can be sort of, especially in the past when Akala was growing up, they can be sort of dismissed as unruly and stuff like that. But it's a different cultural setting in their schools as it is to in our schools. You like the blue checks? Thank you very much, Marcos. So let's say a West Indian boy over here might be seen as a trouble causer and stuff like that. But when he goes, if his family send him back to whatever part of the Caribbean they came from to get educated over there, he's not misbehaving in class. He's not this. He's not that, because culturally, what is seen as acting up over here is seen as just having extra energy over there, kind of thing, and it's handled culturally in a different way. So they're a little more firm with him than our teachers are allowed to be, our school system is allowed to be over here, and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. It's I remember watching as well a documentary on BBC about Black Dread, and he had a lad that was, I think, in the same boat. He was the school system was failing him over here, so his mum and he went back to the Caribbean, and then over there he became like a straight A student, basically. But the school system was sort of failing him over here, and they couldn't get a grip of him. I say get a grip of him. What I mean is they couldn't sort of rein in his extra energy and stuff like that and channel it in the right direction into his education. Now, it could have been also other factors like the friends he was hanging around with and stuff over here, but it's massively different culturally, isn't it? That, you know, one system can work so well, and again, it goes back to like the idea of when I was saying earlier about certain teachers can teach people a lot, whereas another teacher teaching the same subject might not be able to teach me the same amount. So it's like, yeah, so over there, the lad's learning a lot from the way the system's teaching him and the way the teachers are teaching him. It's a similar sort of idea, I think. And yeah, I don't understand how I've stayed on this subject for so long now. Right, guys, dinner duty. We'll catch you later. Take care. Thanks for a great stream and chat, everyone. Thanks for joining in, Rivets. Gar, it's been fantastic to have you as always. Looking good, Dan. Keep it going with the challenge. Doing great. Thank you very much. Boom. And yeah, as I said, Marcus is liking the blue checks. Whoa! I've been on for over 2 hours now. I didn't even notice. I'm just going to put the hold screen on, and then I'll pop back down after relieving myself. I'm back again. Right, so that's how Gaz is looking. I think I'll get a couple more colours on him, and then I'll wrap it up shortly after that. I need to get the chat back up in case anybody's mentioned anything. I doubt it. Left you on in the background, no worries, mate. Necrons and more, still painting Thraka? Yes, I am. All this time after I started, Nick. I just read your name as Necrons and more rather than IditBeer40k, Necrons and more. I finished a group of Necrons today, though. I'll get them up on my Instagram later. So I finished 10 Necron Warriors today. I didn't enjoy painting them, though. I don't like painting metallics onto skeletons. I don't mind metallics on sort of flat areas like a Ghazghkull Claw or something like that, because, you know, the big flat areas, but onto skeletons or Necrons, I didn't enjoy it at all. I was having issues. But yeah, it's I finished my first unit of Necrons. I'll be painting 5 units in total, I think. Basically the ones you get in the Command Edition of the Necron, not the Necron, the 40k start set. So yeah, still painting Thraka, and I'll hopefully get him finished in the next couple of days, fingers crossed. Yes, orcs are. What? Yes, orcs are. I assumed you pressed enter. Much better, Marcos. Yeah, orcs are much better, in my opinion. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how I get on with the characters. Paint more orcs. I'm painting 365 orcs this year, Marcos. Not. Don't clip that. You can't clip it because it's not Twitch. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see, like I said, how I get on with the Necron characters. If I enjoy that experience or not. Oh, I'm nearly knocking this over before I even started using it. But yeah, fingers crossed, I'll be finishing Ghazghkull this week. I've painted 55 miniatures for the year so far, which puts me like 3-4 days ahead of schedule for my 365 challenge. Oh yeah! Ah yeah, I want to put a bit of red on that pipe there, didn't I? Let me have a look on this one on the website. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a wash brush and try and sort these horns out because they're not quite very good. They're not quite very good. It's good English, isn't it? I'm not quite satisfied with them. There's no transition basically. There's a hard tide mark there. Looking better, isn't it? Apart from there. On the underside there's a really harsh transition, but on the top now it's looking alright, I feel like. But we'll only know for sure when it's dried a bit. Yeah, so on the inside and the underside it's still looking like very hard. Actually, it's still looking pretty harsh on top there. I'm gonna get a bit of that on the palette and mix some water in with it. And once it's dry, Oh, you know what? That was silly, actually. I was going to say, once it's dry, I'll do it again, but I'll have to dry it with a hairdryer to be able to do it. Because otherwise, what I've just put on the palette is going to dry. Right, time for a hairdryer. I've put a few more colours on your Mega Knobs. I've put a few more colours on your Mega Knobs? No, you've put a few more colours on your Mega Knobs, haven't you? Excellent stuff. Yeah, it was me reading that, not the way you typed it, that's made me make an issue of that, by the way. Where's that snowball? I'm going to mute the mic and you can listen to some music for a bit. I'm back! Mic-wise. Did I even mute the right thing? Yeah, I did, didn't I? I'm looking at it thinking, have I done the right thing? I don't know. So, your colours you're putting on the Mega Knobs, Marcos, is it? So you got the blue down at first, didn't you? What have you got them in with as another colour? Are you going in with any greys? Because I really like Death Skulls with grey and blue. As you may have seen some of my Mega Knobs that I painted at the start of the year. I'm pretty sure you did, in fact. Just mostly grey, some of them, with bits of blue here and there. But that blue is like the main colour, and it makes them, you know, clearly Death Skulls. Well, in my mind, it does anyway. Makes them clearly Death Skulls, but the actual predominant colour, so to speak, on them is the grey. I don't know if grey is actually classed as a colour. Because I think black and white technically aren't colours, are they? Right, I'll leave that for a little bit. How's his how are his pants looking there? Right, his pants are looking darker than I've got them. So I'm going to go in with some Skeleton Horde on his pants. I'm doing different metallics on pipes and wires. Nice, very nice. Yeah, I think pipes and wires really help on certain orc models to add splashes of colour, don't they? If I went back and started again on Ghazghkull, I think I'd have him in more sub-assemblies. That's one thing I've learned from painting him. Because I just can't quite reach into some of the areas I want to reach into with my brush when he's all assembled. Because of all the sheer amount of wires on him, you see him having to reach around this wire, the wire that's on his leg there, to get to where I want to get to. Holding him by the horn that I've just painted. What a numpty. What a numpty dumpty. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking the look of him, I've got to say. I've got to say. I'll get away without going in there with another colour. just going to grab a brown colour. And, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Check around the back of him. And I need to go in there with the green as well. Let's get that ready. Just getting a Plaguebearer flesh paint ready to go in and touch on his leg and hope that it adds enough green tint to make it look like I want it to. Oh yeah, these wires around the back here. So there's a red one there. That's a red one. That's like a black one by the looks of it. Let's grab a brown. Gorgon to fur, I think. Snakebite leather. Oh, I do need snakebite leather as well, actually. I'm going to do some leather in snakebite leather, controversially. Just because a paint's called snakebite leather doesn't mean you have to use it for all your leather, by the way. Something I used to do when I was younger. I've spoken about this on previous streams. But yeah, like Scorpion Green, I slapped it on my Striking Scorpions, just straight onto the metal. And wondered why it wouldn't work. So I just put more of it on and covered up all the details. Oh, I'm just about in shot there. I didn't even think to check. Oh, just remember I got some belly pork in the fridge that I picked up earlier for tea tonight. I'm going to have that with some rice probably. Oh no, it's doing the hydrophobic thing. Oh no, look at that. Missed a couple of bits there. Oh, nearly knocked it over. Keep coming close with knocking very fluid paints over, but I've not quite done it yet. I'm sure I'll do it one day on stream. But it is not this day! Gorgon to fur back in its place. Snakebite leather. Now, not only do I want to paint his belt in snakebite leather, but I also want to paint. I got another colour on it randomly, seemingly randomly. I also want to paint that sort of the thing that's holding the teeth on the front of him in snakebite leather, I think. Oh, knocking the camera. Do apologise if you're getting seasick or anything every time I knock the camera. There we go. Oh, I'm out of shot. I apologise, guys. splash of colour on these, using the snakebite leather on these hidden wires, because it'll be similar in hue at the end to the Nazdrag yellow, but it'll look like, because it's between his legs, it's in shadow. So that's Nazdrag yellow, and that's snakebite leather. When that dries, it'll go similar, but not the same as a Nazdrag yellow. G the Hypsapien, how you doing, bud? Welcome to the chat, the stream and whatnot. Are you working on anything this fine day? Heading to bed. So you're heading to bed. Thought I'd pop in before, show some love and hit that like for you. Cheers, thanks very much, mate. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you can't join for a stream or anything like that, I always do appreciate when people pop in just to say hi, even if they forget to hit that like button and stuff. But thanks very much for popping in, mate, and get yourself some decent sleep. What was I going to look at here? Yes, this. Oh, interesting. Right. I'm going to crack out the Wildwood, which is a very dark brown paint, if you didn't know. Gazzy is looking dope, sick, man. Nice one. Cheers, mate. It's late, no worries. I get you. I know sometimes you're up all night, but yeah. If you can get your sleep, you grab it, mate. Got to get it when you're feeling it. Right, here we go. I'm gonna try and touch on the sort of ties holding these skulls in place, without going too much. He says as he goes too much onto the skull itself. Yeah, looks alright-ish. Ish. Half three. I'm not that tired, but yeah. You jump in bed, bud. Even if you're not that tired. I think personally, now people might disagree with this, but I think trying to get to bed and get some sleep is a really... My Necron vid was great. Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. It's a really... almost like a vital thing to do, and getting into a routine and stuff, especially if you struggle to sleep at regular times, just getting into a routine and of being in bed at a certain time and stuff, I feel like can be a healthy thing. So yeah, even if you're not that tired, definitely jump in bed and listen to me bore you to death, and you'll fall asleep in no time. It's a little hard to see there. I don't know exactly where they are. I don't know exactly where the focus point is. Let's see if we can zoom in with this camera. Let's see if we can zoom in with this camera, I said. Configure video. That's the one. Camera controls. Zoom. So the image is a little bit noisy, but you can see what I'm sort of going for there with the old Zoomaroonie. Try to get those two leather sort of ties. Highlighted there. Not highlighted, but yeah, put the oh yeah. I like that. A little bit of snakebite leather in the eye sockets there as well, sort of takes that little tie in there. And we've got the other one. One more to do. This one's got his gob open. Oh, that seemed really close, that one. I just brought it across. I was like, oh, I've nearly messed it up. There we go. Looking half decent. And round the back. I tend to struggle round the back for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. If you're just joining us, I'm making funny noises because I've been having back issues today. I've been advised by Dread that it may well be a trap nerve just below my shoulder blade, or just below my shoulder. Let's see if we can come out a bit of that one. Zoom out back to the previous zoom. Well, that's a nice bit of zoom actually, about there I reckon. Yeah, look at that. Okie dokie. Let's bring Gaz back into the shot a little bit. You can see how all these bits are coming on, how he's coming on. And I might start working on the base at some point, and on the next stream maybe. I'm doing a stream tomorrow night on Twitch, so feel free to pop in there and see how I get on with tackling the base and whatnot. But I think I'm going to call it a day there, guys. Thanks very much to everyone who's tuned in. Let me just check the chat, see if we've got any more. Well, G's still chatting away, even though he said he was going to bed, the naughty boy. Yeah, it's a challenge, isn't it? The heat made my sleep all over the place. I can imagine, mate. When it gets warm over there, it gets bloody warm. Although I've never experienced it myself, thankfully, because I'm a thermophobe, let's say. I'm not scared of the heat, but you know, I don't enjoy the heat very much. I'd rather be too cold than too hot. Anyway, like I said, thanks very much, Marcos, for joining us. Thanks very much to Gar, to Clint, to Dread, to everyone that's popped in throughout the chat. Trisart, I think it was. And everyone else who's popped in and out. And Orky, let's make it Orky. Don't forget, you can watch me on Twitch as well. There are links too. Let me try this in the chat. I'm going to put !socials. So there are links in the description of this video if that socials command doesn't work in the chat. There are links in the description of this video to the Chilling Wargamers network link tree, where you can find all the other Chilling Wargamer YouTubers. And there is also a link to my link tree where you can find links to my various socials as well. So I'm on Twitch, I'll be streaming on there tomorrow night. And don't forget as well, I'll be streaming on there in a couple of weeks on a Saturday night on the 6th of March with Let's Make It Orky. She'll be doing a 12-hour charity stream and I'll be joining her for 3 of those hours. So you can check us out over there. Throw a little money our way if you've got some to spare, but we understand it's not that easy for everyone, especially at the moment. So feel free to... Yeah, that socials thing's definitely not working. I wonder if I've spelt it wrong in Nightbot. Yeah, so feel free to check out my other socials other than Twitch as well. If you click that Linktree link, it'll give you them all, but there's Instagram and there's Facebook as well, and my Patreon. If you want to help support the channel, you can do so. Thanks very much for watching, and... Oh no! I pressed the wrong thing. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.